Hansel Enmanuel is doing the impossible, which could lead to his wildest dream coming true. Hansel Enmanuel is a viral internet star and Division I college basketball player. However, describing him as such would diminish his greatest quality. Above all things, he is an inspiration, and the reason is simple. He is chasing his wildest dreams despite the severe obstacles in his path that would have dissuaded many others. By the end of this video, you will see how Hansel is inspiring everyone thanks to his unbelievable college journey. He was born in the Dominican Republic and only moved to the United States 3 years ago. When he moved to the States, he didn't speak any English, however, he let his hoop skills do the talking for him. Despite being 6'6", he is unlike any other basketball player because he is chasing his dream with only one arm. Hansel lost his left arm at age 6 and yet has overcome everything in his way to become a potential NBA prospect. However, even Hansel admitted that when he first started playing basketball, he could envision himself being who he is now. This only makes his accomplishment even greater, as he didn't have this delusional level of self-belief from the get-go. Instead, he worked on his game, and the better he got, the more he believed in himself. His confidence is earned. Because he has been through the childhood trauma of losing his arm, he has never looked at other obstacles as insurmountable. Enmanuel was 6 and living in the Dominican Republic when the accident happened that cost him his arm. He was playing with his friends, and as he climbed a wall, it fell over on him, bricks and blocks pinning his left arm. He was rushed to the hospital, but doctors couldn't save his arm, and it was amputated several inches below the shoulder. He was hospitalized for about 6 months. It was a dark time for him and his family.
Podía beber agua, ¿sabes? Coger un vaso de beber agua, amarrarme los cordones, ponerme la ropa.
By the end of his hospitalization, Enmanuel said his mental approach had improved thanks to his relationship with God. Slowly, things got better for the little boy, dealing with an unimaginable loss. What he did next was focus on the small steps, the small victories. He vividly remembered the first time he tied his shoes. "I was like, never mind, I'm going to start," he said. "I told myself, let me try. I was trying. Then I made it. I tied my shoes, so I was excited like crazy." It was a small win, but a necessary one. Next came a new hobby that would end up taking over his life. Months after the accident, Enmanuel gave basketball a proper shot. His missing arm left him lacking balance. With his equilibrium off, every time he tried to run, he would crash to the ground, falling on debris strewn across the makeshift courts that he played on. The scars piled up, but so did his confidence gained from experience. He was 5'9" by age 11 and 6 feet a year later. No one really expected much from him on the court. Even his father, who played professional basketball in the Dominican Republic, had trouble envisioning success after such a loss. Even Enmanuel had to admit to himself that basketball would likely wind up being just a pastime. But in reality, it was far from just a pastime. It became his identity, his mission in life. It was in high school at the Life Christian Academy in Florida where his internet fame really took off. And the guard now has over 4 million followers on Instagram and TikTok combined. His rapid development there was counteracted by lingering doubts about his ability. He was considered a top prospect as a senior when he averaged 25.9 points, 11 rebounds, 6.9 assists, and 3.4 blocks per game. Enmanuel never wanted to be treated differently, so in high school the team had a rule. If you missed the layup in practice, you had to do 10 push-ups. Enmanuel missed and did not hesitate to do the push-ups. He said that basketball is a team game and did not want to be singled out. Rated a 3-star recruit out of high school, he found himself at Northwestern State University. Northwestern State's president, Marcus Jones, was also on the call, easing Enmanuel's mother's concerns in Spanish, which he spoke fluently. Jones hosted Enmanuel and his parents for breakfast during his recruiting visit. He wanted to make sure that Enmanuel would be as comfortable as possible. So he enlisted the help of Christian Peay, a Colombian native and honor student who played saxophone in the school's jazz orchestra. She would help integrate Enmanuel and make his transition to the state smoother. At first, things were slow to start, and Enmanuel didn't play enough to score until 10th of December last year, when he grabbed 5 points against the University of Louisiana Monroe. And in that game, he made a highlight reel play when he grabbed the rebound off his own missed free throw, dunking the ball to send almost everyone in attendance into raptures. Everyone except himself. "I was just trying to get back to defense," he said afterward. "I wasn't trying to be excited." Enmanuel seems to have fans everywhere he goes, often young boys and girls who have watched his highlights on the internet for years. At a game against Rice, 3 elementary-aged boys screamed his name and waved as he warmed up near them. When he played less than a minute in the first half, they complained that he should be on the floor more. After he finally checked in again late in the game, they stood and cheered every time he touched the ball. When he got a rebound and took the ball down the court before finishing with an off-balance layup, screams of "Hansel, Hansel" came from the kid. His story also helped him link up with some of the biggest brands in the world. He signed a deal with Gatorade, starring in a national commercial spot that aired in June as part of the brand's Fuel Tomorrow campaign. He also had a deal with Adidas and even featured in a J. Cole music video. When you are someone inspirational, something that has never been done before, you can bet that others will notice and try to help you along. And that is what has been happening with Enmanuel. Because he didn't get many minutes under Coach Corey Gibson at Northwestern State, Enmanuel decided he needed a change of scenery. Gibson left his post at Northwestern earlier in March to take up a vacant head coach role at another university. The 19-year-old formally announced his intention to transfer to a different school next season. "One important lesson that I have learned in my life as a student athlete is the value of patience," Enmanuel wrote in a statement shared on his Instagram account. "Success cannot be achieved overnight, and it is common to experience frustration and disappointment along the way. Sometimes we may feel entitled to something we desire and have worked hard for, only to realize that we are not ready to receive it at the moment. However, through patience, we can persevere and reach our goals." For his sophomore season, Hansel transferred to Austin Peay, where his head coach at Northwestern State, Corey Gibson, had been hired in the same position. There, he has been turning heads. During one play, Hansel caught the ball in a fluid motion and drained the three-pointer. Quite remarkable for a guy with one arm. 2 minutes later, a steal and a layup were just as effortless. Then Enmanuel blocked a shot at the basket. The slender 6'6" junior at Austin Peay made an impact for the Governors. 5 points, a rebound, an assist, and 2 blocks. Every time Enmanuel steps on the floor, people notice for a variety of reasons. In just a handful of games this year, he has been making waves. He is playing over 21 minutes per game while averaging 5 points and 6 rebounds per game early on. He is the biggest inspiration in college sports, said Coach Corey Gibson. "He has developed me. I don't know how any person on earth can watch him play and not cry." But Enmanuel isn't satisfied just yet. He has lofty goals which he believes he can achieve. "We're going to make it to the NBA," he said. "That's the big goal. I can inspire some people and motivate a lot of people. Yeah, I can be a positive." In the end, he wants to be a positive inspiration like his idols LeBron James and Muhammad Ali. The way he has been playing and things he has already accomplished, it is safe to say that Enmanuel is already a legend in his own right.